Hello and welcome to the Anime Dumpster Dive Podcast, where we go in-depth on an anime that's been considered trash by pretty much anybody. I'm your host and zombified biker girl, Jake H. I am joined by my co-host and full-on zombie, DJ.
Oh, I thought I was going to be the zombified whore.
Oh, okay.
I'll take the zomb.
Zom. And I am joined by my other co-host and former idol struck by lightning, Anthony.
Yes! That seems...
Man, I'm getting the best ones.
I really thought about giving you Lily, but then I'm like, Anthony will make a short joke, and I can't.
He is short. Anthony,
yeah.
Lily.
It was the easy road.
It would have been easy.
It was the easy one, Jake. I'm proud of you.
I try to be better. So this podcast is going to be one of our shorter ones, and it's going to be completely dedicated to our seasonal anime, which was Zombieland Saga. And we haven't talked about the last 3 episodes of Zombieland Saga, so it's going to be spoilers for that. I'll just go ahead and throw up a spoiler tag now for it. But we're going to be talking about episodes 10, 11, and 12 of Zombieland Saga. And so here we go. So episode 10 is the training episode. And I feel like the more anime we watch, the more I start to understand the episode of Handshakers where those cooking kids broke their hands going into the woods.
Because that's where you have to train.
Because that's apparently where you have to just train to become a team, is the woods.
Right.
They
go to camp and it's all wintry.
I do all my training in the cold winter woods.
Yeah, right? But they're zombies, so they're all worried about...
Well, they thought they were going to freeze, because that's my zombie plan is, going to colder temperatures because they'll freeze.
Yeah.
And Ty freezes right away, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
Well, while they're doing the training camp, Sakura actually isn't too keen on it, because she's like, why are we doing this? We should be practicing. And she's kind of becoming obsessed with practicing the dance moves all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Other than like that, this episode is definitely more of a campy episode compared to like the past few that we've had.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, well, camp. Yeah, there you go. It was cool seeing some of the girls in different costumes in this one.
Yeah.
It gave us like sports bra Saki, which like really has a lot of fan art out there now, which I am thankful for.
Ooh, wowza.
But then at the end of it, Sakura realizes that she's supposed to that this was a team building exercise and meant to make them closer as a group, not necessarily closer as like better at the choreography, but closer to work with each other during the choreography. Mm-hmm. And so she comes to terms with that after they start becoming more in sync. And she's ready now. She's like, oh, all right, I'm excited. I'm good to go. And she takes off running. Like, she goes on a morning run where episode 1 happens again, and she is hit by a truck.
I'll never get tired of that.
It's a great scene, and I love that it, like, a lot of anime would have tried to, like, surprise you with it, but they heavily foreshadow it, like, the entire time. Because she says almost the exact same stuff that she says in the first episode, and we even get a little bit of I going, hey, yeah, watch out for traffic. She goes, yeah. Boom. Hit by a truck.
Like they knew. They knew they were going to have that happen.
Yeah. Foreshadowing, yeah.
That's what foreshadow means.
Now, this is a little turn. This kind of drives the point for the next couple episodes of this car accident.
It does. And DJ, leading up to this, I know that a lot of times you use the phrase the anime shits the bed when they introduce kind of a last-minute plot to like wrap up a season. Do you think that this anime follows the same pattern, or do you think this was a well-done last-minute plot point?
It wasn't a bad shit. It could have been done a little earlier and then wrapped up like right before the last couple episodes rather than being introduced at the last episode. But I mean, I feel like it follows the theme. Like this anime's been kind of just a mid nice thing to like, hasn't been too insane or too bad. Insane meaning good throughout the whole series. So I think this decision kind of reflects that, if you know what I mean. Like it's an okay decision, gets a little plot going, but I mean, it's not the coolest thing they could have done. So it's par for the course for this anime, I feel like.
Okay. How about you, Anthony? What are your thoughts on introducing this amnesia plot point so late?
You know, man, it's gonna break my heart to say this, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Why was it gonna break your heart?
Because I early on, in the anime, I think that both me and Jake both applauded the show because it was funny. It has great jokes, and like I just feel like at this point in the story, like what I loved about Zombieland Saga was this fun and happy type of storyline that was I don't want to use, I don't know, it was the jokey anime. And I think that this little added drama that they added towards the end here, this plot, I mean, I just thought it was a little weak I can't believe my opinion.
Say that.
Yeah. I mean, just like
the things that I like the most still retained, and those things are the things that have been driving me through the whole anime. Like through this whole arc, like Kataro's still really funny, and that was the thing that was kind of keeping me watching, and I liked him a lot. And he has some of his best moments in this arc, so I mean, I'm all right with it, I guess.
I won't disagree with that.
I feel like the whole time I've been kind of like, during a lot of it, but then when the characters I thought were funny, like the Tai and Katara were on screen, then I was excited, and it continues throughout this arc, too.
I won't disagree that the comedy is retained in the introduction of this plot. What I will argue, though, is that the plot is just a little weak for this point in the show. I think that if it was, like as you said, introduced a little earlier, perhaps, maybe then we could have really felt the tension or the building, climax of the show instead of just like you say, like a meh, like it just ends on a very bland note for me. It doesn't really, I'm not sitting there jumping for joy, nor am I praising these last 3 episodes. I personally felt like the last 3 episodes are the weakest part of the show.
I would say that I thought it was just a weird turn, just because Sakura already kind of has a form of amnesia going on, like with not knowing her life, and so then she gets hit, remembers most of her life, but doesn't remember her life as a zombie.
It's a switch amnesia.
Yeah, it's a switch amnesia.
They play it with the same card again.
Yeah. So I get, like, it's kind of like a reference to, like, the start of the show, but I kind of would have preferred, like, if they wanted to go more into her backstory, maybe running into a person that, like, triggers a memory. So that way, like, we're still just dealing with her first stage of amnesia instead of, like, introducing a second thing of amnesia. But we'll continue. We'll keep talking about it as we go on. So when Sakura gets up from the truck, she ends up having that amnesia that we've been talking about, and she has no recollection of her life as a zombie idol. And this is kind of hard on the group because Sakura in life apparently was a very depressed individual, which is something I liked. It was giving Sakura more character than just being the happy leader. So I did like that in her life she had gone through so much failure that it actually did affect her personality, which is something you don't really see in a lot of anime where the person fails, they normally go, I'm going to keep going. And her was like, no, what's the freaking point? And then,
I didn't like that much.
You didn't like that much?
No, I was like, I thought it was kind of, it's like, oh, if she could remember her past, then she'd be really shitty and angry all the time. I don't know. But then towards the end, they kind of make it better. So, I mean, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
I'd say that's the most I've liked about the final arc was that Sakura got character development because like at the end her personalities kind of merge into her where she gets her zombie memories back and she gets over that fear of failure and depression and stuff.
It's kind of how she would have been if she was able to like accomplish her goals in life.
Exactly.
Rather than being hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for some people is a goal, so maybe that was her goal.
I like the depth. I'm definitely a big supporter of the character depth. You know, it gives an extra dimension to Sakura that I think we were missing. So I like that.
Yeah, and so throughout this episode, they're kind of trying to make her remember, and it's not really working. And then the episode ends and climaxes with Kotaro and Sakura talking over a viewpoint, and Kotaro really like being his funny self, but also having like some sincerity where he goes, "I want you to succeed." It's like I have this big thing. I'm going to show the entire world, which became a meme for a little bit because everyone's like, "Oh, Kotaro's got a big thing."
That's the best part of these last 3 episodes.
Goes,
was that when he leaves and she's like, maybe I'll never be an idol. And then right next to her, he's like, "Do you think I was gonna leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think I'm just gonna walk away?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "I will never leave you."
Yeah.
And so it's this really emotional moment that for me at the time I went, okay, so I was a little worried here because I thought episode 12 would be a flashback episode. I'm like, episode 12 is going to be a flashback episode. We're going to end on a flashback. But it didn't. It doesn't. Episode 12 kind of goes right at the beginning of the, where most episodes begin, is in the dungeon with Kotaro
Screaming at him,
doing their thing, telling Sakura to cheer up. And Sakura, pissed off, depressed Sakura, has some of the best faces in the entire show in these past 3 episodes, where she's just like, what?
Yeah.
So she's still not fully on board, and Kataro's words are still like in her head. And so she goes, she locked herself in the room, and this is where, again, while the main plot of these last 3 episodes are weak, the callbacks in these episodes are fantastic. Because Tai is trying to get a hold of Sakura. Well, Tai tries to make her remember stuff, like wearing the Drive-Thru Tori shirt and wearing and showing her the Saga Rock article. And it's really cute. It's really really sincere. And so then she locked herself in the room that Junko locked herself in, and Junko goes, "I don't think Tai can break down that door. I reinforced it when I had to reinstall it." And I'm like, oh yeah, like that's the same room. And so then we kind of get a mini fake out. And I know some people got faked out by it, but I don't know, like I feel like we are a group of people who are just 100% positive that it wouldn't have happened. But it looks like Tai is crying, and a lot of people got faked out that Tai would awaken when she's slamming on the door. Mm-hmm. But it turns out to just be drool. Did that fake you guys out, or did you guys just go, "No, that's drool"? Like the entire.
She was tired, like giving up, beating on it, like.
I thought she was honestly crying. I didn't think it was drool. But then like they play it off so great. I loved that scene. You know, it is very sentimental, and they did a very good job. I cannot believe that I was saying, "Oh, for a zombie," you know.
Like, oh no, Tai.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, never seen what's that movie?
Warm Bodies.
Warm Bodies, Anthony. Gosh.
I think I watched Warm Bodies. I don't know.
Very bad.
It's not. It's
very bad.
It's got Beasts from X-Men in it.
Talk about what next. What we're gonna watch next.
Yeah, there we go. What's Warm Bodies? This is the teen post-apocalyptic genre podcast.
Right.
No, so Tai. It turns out Tai's drooling, and she goes full on zombie. Jumps onto the roof, breaks through the window, grabs Sakura, pulls her into the studio, and starts showing her moves that Sakura taught her. And it's
talking to her too.
Yeah, talking to her. And the rest of the group is sitting there and they're watching, and they go, "Yeah, Tai's not giving up." And they have this really sentimental moment. And then hard cuts, music cuts, and hard cuts to Sakura just giving one of her best like meh faces, and she goes, "You're all getting excited over something I don't even remember. So don't you think you're getting a little too ahead of yourselves?" And then I can't remember her name. The one from the past, the one from way in the past.
Josie.
No,
the rest of them are the Pussycats.
No.
I can't remember her name. The one that didn't get a backstory.
The one who hasn't gotten one, but I feel like will be big.
My
because
favorite one.
The bartender even knows her.
Yeah.
Yugiri.
Yeah.
So we get Yugiri slaps her in the face, and it's like all the Yugiri slaps that we've seen so far put together, and she just fucks up Sakura. And she goes, it's like, "We've decided as a group that instead of we'd rather fail performing with you than succeed performing without you. And Sakura goes, of all this selfish. And she goes, yeah, I know it's selfish. Like,
She kicks the shit out of her.
yeah, she goes, I know it's selfish. We're selfish. This is what we want. Like, we don't care that you have this incredible amount of bad luck. So, like, shove it. And I gives, like, because I inspired Sakura in life, says the same words, like, failures aren't bad. They help you grow to be the best version of yourself. And I forgot, another zombie says, I think it might be Junko or Saki, who goes, hey, like, you're not the only one with bad luck. We all have bad luck. Because if we didn't have bad luck, we'd be alive.
Yeah.
And so
I think it is. I think it's either Saki or I.
Oh, who says it?
I like to call Saki Rocky.
Rocky.
She reminds me of Rocky.
You're a bum rock.
No, from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah. Oh.
And so,
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me. I'm curious. I don't see the similarities.
they
I
both
just
have
made
good
that up on the
antlers.
spot. That's Bullwinkle. Let me just know they're Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Bro, Rocky's the squirrel. There we go.
Is Rocky the squirrel? Yeah, Rocky's the
Well, I
squirrel.
mean, if Bullwinkle's the moose.
Because she's cute like a squirrel. That's why.
They both have great tails that can fly.
The reason why, and I won't say on podcast after we end the
Because of
call,
her
I'll
beautiful
tell you.
tail.
I'll tell you how I remember the difference between the two.
Yeah, so do I.
Well, somebody
so do I.
we know.
God.
I
think I know. Okay, anyway, continuing. So,
it's because of her beautiful tail. That's why.
Too.
That's why Saki reminds me of Rocky.
okay. So, they all decide, so they find out Sakura is good at, still good at the choreography because it's in her muscle memory. And they even do a little bit of like pre-show publicity, like going out there and meeting their fans. And we find out that Sakura actually has a couple of fans that are specifically for her. Mm-hmm. And they end up doing their performance at that concert hall that did Ai's band Iron Frill, and where we find out Sakura's flashback that we've been seeing all season actually takes place. So before this, though, before they perform, a giant snowstorm is heading to Saga, probably the biggest one they've ever experienced, and Kotaro's tracking it on like a GPS. And he also has a little flashback here, where it shows him in a high school uniform, and he picks up an Iron Frill CD, and Sakura goes, "Oh, thanks, Ito like Kun, right?"
Something along those lines. Yeah, this one was also pretty big. I was like, oh.
This is the stuff I think that Zombieland does great, where it can be funny, it can have its idle stuff, but then they give me a little bit of plot every now and then that I'm just like, ooh, that's nice. I like that. Yeah. And it's Sakura who says it to him. And so you're kind of given a backstory. It's because it's been 10 years since Sakura died.
Right.
And so it would make sense that Kotaro would be her age. So 10 years ago, he was in the same school as her. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so really quick, we'll take a break from the recap just to talk about this. What do you guys think their relationship was? Because a few people think that like maybe they were in the same like club, and like he kind of just admired her as like a person who loved idols, and some people feel like he maybe was like saved by joining like an idol fan club by Sakura, and so that's how come he's obsessed with saving Saga with idols and using Sakura. And other people use the one that was fairly popular originally, but I think kind of died out, was that he had a crush on her, and that's how come he resurrected her.
I think they were husband and wife.
In high school?
Yep. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I thought it was kind of lame that they introduced that right at the end there. Like, I was like, you know?
Well, I think it sets up for a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think you should be setting up that hard for season 2, you know?
Is it announced? Is
we
season
already
2
don't
announced?
have kind of a... There's already not really a closed, shut, happy ending as far as, like, ending the storyline of them, you know what I mean? Like, like you'd expect from a season 1. They already don't have that, so it's like they're adding stuff on top of that to make it more confusing, you know?
I would say that confusing.
Yeah.
Not confusing, but it's like, come on, you shouldn't be banking on the fact that you have a season 2. You should have at least a lot of closure in season 1.
I mean, but what happens if they do? You know?
Then
what
you
happens if
come
they
out
do?
with new storylines. Awesome. That's great.
I personally, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think that in combination with the Kataru talk that he had, specifically the line where he says that he has what it takes. Doesn't matter if she doesn't have what it takes. He has what it takes. He has what it takes. I love that.
Uh-huh.
And I think in combination with this, like, I would more so agree with that Sakura somehow helped him,
Okay.
you know, through some rough patch, whether it be just by like giving him a CD or sharing something or like coming up and actually being cheerful at some point in time. Because I mean, she was bad at like sports and literally everything. So perhaps where she excels, and I think that the show does a pretty good job, is she excels in her interactions that she has with other people. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's something that we brought up as well, is when all of this is going down, all of the girls try and cheer Sakura up in their own respective ways. It just shows, you know,
That she did make a connection with everybody.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with that group too. That like I think maybe he inspired her, and so he kind of had this not like a love admiration for her, but like a just general admiration for her. But then she died, and then he kind of felt bad that her dream never came true, and so then
Right.
he included her in his idol group that he's created.
And legendary Tai Yamada. She's from the
legendary
same
Tai
high
Yamada.
school. She's from the same high school. I'm calling it.
There's a theory that Tai
Oh.
is the first zombie. That's how come she's number 0, and she was and it was the first body he could get hit a hold of, and it was a prisoner, and that's how come her pajamas are prisoner pajamas.
Ooh, that's a pretty good one. I like that.
I think that's something that's awesome that they should have left for a season 2. Like, who's Tai Yamada? I don't think that relationship is something they should have hinted at. I think they should have left it for season 2. So then we have who Kataru is mystery in season 2, and we have who's Tai mystery, and then we got a nice, ripe, juicy season 2.
Okay, what if they backed this scene all the way up to the cliffhanger? What would you think?
I would probably have liked it even less.
Oh, yeah,
I just don't think that you should leave that much gone. Because what if you don't get a season 2? Then it's like, oh no, we just planned everything for the season 2. You should go with the option that covers both outcomes.
Yeah.
So not showing it covers you getting a season 2, and it also covers you not getting a season 2. So you're covered either way. I mean, people might not get as surprised from your episodes because you don't have those little, mysteries in it. But I mean, you're not really screwed over if you don't get a season 2.
So are you saying that you would have rather had them not bring it up at all, or
Yeah, not at all.
not at all, or would you?
Or early, and then they finish it up.
and then
yeah.
like it's like the final scene is her like recognizing him. Would that be enough?
Or them they just show who he was,
Who he
something
was?
like that.
Okay.
And that way they don't like leave it open like that. Yeah, I would have been fine with that too, for
Okay.
definitely.
I would say that it is a stronger scene. It's not the strongest scene, but it's strong enough for me to be disappointed if there's not a season 2.
Absolutely. I would say that if there's no season 2, it's kind of a bummer that
yeah.
we'll never find out their relationship.
Exactly.
Okay, so then we get to the concert, and we get all the fans they've accumulated throughout the series. We get a rocker boys, and this one I really liked is we get the little girl from the train station when they had their kind of iffy performance.
Yeah.
And so they start out, and almost instantly the stage collapses on them because of the snow. And I really like this scene. I liked it a lot. It kind of shows that their perseverance that they've been kind of heavy-handing this whole episode. And like they start... well, first it collapses and Sakura's about to give up, and then Kataro's clapping. And everyone starts doing their claps, and then all the girls start singing one after another. Like start resuming the song. Finally inspiring Sakura to sing her part. And they get the music back going, and they perform 2 songs. Well, they perform a song, and Sakura gets all of her memories back, and they blow it out of the water, and everyone like is excited. And then after they complete the performance, they have their backstage kind of like recuperation, and they're all excited to have Sakura back, and Kotaro bursts in, and he gives them one last, like, what are you doing? They want an encore. Go, 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 go. Which is something is great, too, because even in this happy moment where, like, Kotaro's happy, Kotaro's still the manager, so he's still like, I gotta make you do your job. And they go out there, they perform an encore, and then it ends with what Kotaro says, was something I really love, is Kotaro says in the first episode that you have to respond with the same energy that you're given. And so when he yells, like, good morning at Sakura and she doesn't respond, he goes like, no, seriously, you have to have the same energy that you're given. And so the crowd's going crazy, and then she goes, good morning, Saga, like in the, let's say, kind of like to wrap it up. But then there's an end card, there's a after credits kicker where the reporter, whose story kind of got pushed back, is revealed to is making the connections, having compared Junko, Ai, and Lily to their former lives. And then the season is over, and that's the finale. So first off, what did you guys think of the final performance? We get the return of the CG, but I guess, did the CG bother you guys on this?
No.
No.
No, I liked it.
I feel the same way about it I felt last time.
Okay, just like, it's there.
It's there. It's okay. I think it'd look better if it was 2D animated, and I don't really get how CG's faster, because to me CG's expensive as well, just like regular animation is.
I think it's
but
having to
don't
recreate
get
the figure.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't know that well enough to speak on it. Because CG's expensive too.
Yeah,
it takes a long time too. So.
Yeah, it's not people think, oh, it's like you're saving a bunch of money, but in reality, I think you're only saving like
just time.
Like
right.
maybe time. You're saving
that's
on manpower.
That's what I was gonna suggest too, is because they created the, they have the character model, and the biggest reason I guess that I'm in support of this now is because literally all they would end up having to do, instead of reusing a bunch of scenes that they've animated as 2D, all they have to do is just reskin them in 3D in their 3D models, and then just go through their choreography. Jeez, can you get that word out? So I'm support of it, but I wish that they didn't show us any 2D
animation.
Just because exactly. Like I'm with DJ, because like I prefer the 2D. I don't know, and I think that's, I was reading some views about the show, and like what the audience's reaction was. I mean, in most kind of what do we call this? What's this anime style?
This is a podcast.
So no,
I don't.
They all do.
I also prefer the 2D Kibakoba Flea.
What? Kibakoba Flea?
Kibakoba Flea.
Did we lose Anthony?
I think so.
No.
I could hear your robot noises, Anthony. He's transforming. It's him. It's
Oh no! Is my internet so bad that you can't hear me?
No, we can hear you again. We were hearing you. You just kind of cut out when you were talking about the animation style.
Oh yeah. So for idol shows like this, I mean, they're all 3D. They all do this kind of 3D model. Most of them are not this kind of 2D. Which for us, I mean, I personally have never watched another idol show, so I mean, this is new to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
So I guess I follow in the sentiment that while it is strong at the end, I'm in support of it, but don't show me the 2D,
I currently, I saw there might be a rumor because Funimation is doing a simuldub of it, and people are like, it's really weird going from, because Funimation has dubbed anime with music in it before, where people sing in English, and so people were saying it's really weird it's really jarring to go from to English to Japanese music all of a sudden. Why don't you guys do the music? And Funimation goes, oh, well, we didn't have the time, and we didn't want to waste the effort on something that might get animated again. So we're just going to wait to do it on the Blu-ray. And so, so there's...
They're going to animate them on the Blu-ray?
So there's this theory that it might be 2D animated on the Blu-ray.
That would be cool.
Ooh.
Why didn't they just do it the first time?
I think
on.
it's time at that point, right? It has to be time.
It has to be time. But why don't they just say, hey, we have the ability to 2D animate all of this and make it look really, really good. You should give us a little bit more time to make the anime so it was much better and will be much more receptible for people who don't like CGI. There's an entire audience of people who won't watch this because of the CGI animation, and we could get those people to watch it if... And it also looked more like the manga. Isn't the point... Wait, this isn't the manga
It's
one,
not.
right?
There's a manga being based off the anime now, though, which is selling pretty good.
Come on.
Yeah, so that's... it's really... So I guess we'll see. Again, it's just a rumor. An anime did do something where they were completely CG'd, and people tore it apart. I think we might watch it. Because it was just terrible, and like the animation was bad. But then the Blu-ray came out, and it was all 2D animated. None of the characters looked the same, and like all of a sudden everything started to make sense. So people were like, "This is just really weird." That it was like almost like a studio guy went, "We need a show now, like based off this manga." It's like I have my 3D models I made in like school. Use them.
Yeah, do it. Yep, I'll give you $50.
And so yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be fun to see. What do you guys think of the songs in this one? I thought they were some of the stronger songs.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Cool.
I agree.
I still miss that their OG song.
Their OG song. I think my favorite one still is the Saki song at the end of it.
Saki, can you hear me? Saki, can you hear me? That one?
Yeah, that one, exactly.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Okay. So I guess lastly, for all this, season 2 is not confirmed, but as we've said with all of our seasonal animes, if there was a season 2 of this show, would you guys watch it?
I would.
Probably not.
Probably not. I would.
Maybe for this show?
Maybe for the podcast. You wouldn't hate it if you watched it for the podcast.
I wouldn't hate it if I watched it for the podcast.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I definitely watch it. I enjoyed all the characters. Saki, who's your guys' best girl for the? We've wrapped it up. Who's your guys' best girl?
The Hooer.
You, Gary?
She really takes it home when she starts beating the shit out of Saki to get her back.
Sorry, yeah. Anthony?
Oh, she's also when she's trying to convince her, she's coming up. She's like, "The best courtesan in the city is coming up the stairs."
Yeah, she's all fancy.
And they're like, "I don't know if that's gonna work."
I like, I ended up liking I and Lily.
I and Lily.
Yep.
See, he does like Lily. We knew it.
No, I mean, I guess either one I would have been good, but the Lily one, he would have called me out on the short joke. I know that.
And you said Saki here?
Yeah, and Saki's my favorite one. I like her. Yeah. She's spunky.
Saki, can you hear me? She's got the best song in the show.
The ponytail, man.
She got the ponytail, and she has those twin tails in that one episode. It was great. It was great. All right, so anything else you guys want to say that involves a spoiler for Zombieland Saga?
Not really, but I don't really have anything to... no, I don't.
No, I'm good.
No.
It's not... If you're thinking Zombieland the movie when you go into this, don't
Not even close.
watch it.
I think that is also a spoiler-free recommendation as well.
Yeah, I'll wait till later.
You could have said that in a completely different podcast. If you thought Zombieland Saga was about the movie, don't watch Zombieland Saga. Someone's like, okay. You could have said that in person on the street.
No. Guy's like picking up his McDonald's, and he's like, hey, you watch Zombieland Saga? What? No.
Don't, if you think it's like the movie.
I've never seen the movie either. Whatever. Get out of here.
It's crazy. Woody Harrelson's looking for Twinkies. Have a good day. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll exit the spoilers now. Welcome back. If you somehow decided to skip a whole section based off the only anime we're talking about in this podcast, after we talk about an anime, we like to give our ratings. And, I'm feeling risky. I don't think I've let DJ say the rating system in a while. So, DJ, what's the rating system?
Number 1, do you like this anime? Yes, I do. Number 2, I kind of only like it a little. Number 3, it ain't good.
And number 1 is what we call a find. Number 2 is what we call a recycling bin, and number 3 is what we call trash. And those might be the best DJ's ever done.
Pretty good. It's
No,
pretty
I
good.
nailed
Short and sweet, concise.
You're sweet, concise, just like this podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So, Anthony, how about you kick us off?
Yeah. So Zombieland Saga, I would say, started off really setting my personal expectations fairly high, just because of how fast it gets us into the main plot of the story. I liked the pacing of all of the episodes, albeit the last 3, but it's definitely not something that I'm going to praise for its pacing. What I am going to praise it for is its comedic aspect and the characters that they develop over the course of the anime. I thought it was hilarious. I'd say in kind of comparing all of the seasonal anime that we have watched, this is probably one of my more favorites. Like, this definitely goes down on that end, but that being said, it's to me, it does end really weak. The last 3 episodes are enough for me to say that it ends a little weak and changes my whole my whole view of the show itself.
What are
the characters
you've watched?
We'll
the characters are awesome. They're relatable in some aspect. They have awesome character development, and like I said, that comedy really brings it home. And then you also have some really heartfelt episodes as well that more than enough had stopped me to kind of have a point of like introflexion and say, yeah, you know what, this does kind of make me a little sad. I relate with this. Oh my gosh. So they do a pretty good job in that. Like I said, the pacing's good. Plot is pretty good up until, a couple of episodes. Funny show. Absolutely funny show. Is it for me, though, the last 3 episodes were enough for me to say that this is probably a recycle bin for me.
But you just said it was one of the best season ones we've watched.
He does it all the time. He leads us up to stuff, and then he never rates it the way that we think it's going to go.
It's one of my favorites, but I honestly, because...
Out of the 4 seasonal animes we've watched, where does it rank?
I think we're going to do that later, but I won't tell you right now, so...
Because you said it's one of the best ones, so does that mean top 2?
I said one of my favorites.
You said it's one of my favorite
animes
we've watched.
So, no, what he means is while he personally enjoys it, he may not think it has actual good quality, like a recycling bin.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I just feel like if he says it's the worst one out of all the seasonal ones we've watched, then why would he say it's one of the best ones?
I didn't say it was one of the best ones. I just said it was one of my favorites.
It's one of... I
feel like he enjoyed our seasonal animes a lot.
I think this is the only one Anthony put in the recycling bin.
Yeah. So then it's got to be the worst one, right? Can't be one of the best ones. That's impossible.
No. So I was telling everybody to stop what they were doing and watch it all season long, and I still sort of stand by that, but
okay, now you're throwing me off. No, I don't. Anthony's all over the board.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, definitely put it into the recycle bin. If it has been on your plan to watch list, yeah, watch it eventually. I'm not saying put it at the top.
Okay.
No.
All right, DJ, how about you?
Hello.
Hi.
I think...
This whole time. Hello, DJ.
First of all, just to lead up, if you think this anime is like Zombieland the movie, don't even watch it. If that's what you're expecting, don't even start, because it's nowhere close. It's overall okay throughout the whole thing. It's got some really good comedy in it. It's lightweight, nothing that's going to make you overthink or over theorize, or it's not gonna screw you over at the very end by not giving you like the final drama-filled episode you wanted, because it's just nice and easy. It's not like it builds you up with questions and then screws you at the end and makes you wait for a season 2. None of that stuff. It's just a fun anime. I think if this sounds like the anime you like, then definitely check it out. Personally, for me, it's not the best, but I think people who enjoy this genre will definitely like it. So then, for me, it is a recycling bin.
Recycling bin. All right, 2 recycling bins. All right, so I'll take us home. And
Or a number 2, as we call it in the pro trade.
Pro trade. All right, so I'll take us home. The Zombieland Saga for me is a show I had no idea what it was going into, and tricked me not only into watching an idol anime, but thoroughly enjoying an idol anime. There's some iffy CG scenes in it, but the story, the comedy was enough for me to not even really care. And I loved every performance. The songs were great. And to where I differ from you guys is I'm putting this as a find. I enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought some parts are a little weak, but not weak enough for me to change my opinion on the show. I think people should watch it, and people should look forward to a season 2 of it, because I think we're going to get one. The show has characters who, this also could 100% be recency bias, but the show has characters who I feel have potentials to be remembered for quite a bit of time.
Legendary.
Huh?
Legendary. Legends.
Like legendary Ta Yamada. I think there's just characters that are really fun, really great, and I think you'll be seeing seeing people referencing pictures of these characters for quite some time. And it's just so different from any show I've watched, I feel like, because maybe because it's the first idol anime I've watched, but it's nothing I've seen before, and I really enjoyed every bit of it. And I think that if you want to get into the idol genre, this might be a good gateway, because I think I'm going to watch Love Live now, just because I want to have something I can compare it to. All right, so that wraps up our seasonal anime as well as our final anime of final podcast of 2018. We are going to be releasing a shorter video that actually might come out before this one. That we will have a complete recap of our first season on Anime Dumpster Dive. Anthony, how about you tell them where they can find us?
You can find us down in the descriptions below. We all have Twitters that we regularly use, and we'll respond if you tweet at us. So tweet us a recommendation for some bad anime. It's not that we're a lack of bad anime. It's just we want to know what you think is bad as well. Leave a comment down below as well, and subscribe to the channel so that you can never miss shows that are bad.
Never miss shows that are bad. Learn to avoid some of these ones that we've watched.
That's a better way to put it, you know.
All right. This was a fun seasonal winter season, right?
Yeah. Yes. This was winter.
This was a fun winter season. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Hope to see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Wait, I thought we were doing an add-on thing at the end with the New Year's resolutions or something.
DJ did not hear me say that was a different episode.
Oh, well, bye, guys. We'll see you on the next episode where we do New Year's resolutions. See you then. This has been Anime Dumpster Dive, where we take a dive into the worst anime.
Jake's not recording.
I'm still recording.
Oh, no!
And now I'm not.